Welcome to the Gray People Podcast, episode 8.
Welcome to the Gray People Podcast, where topics that people expect to be black and white are discussed by going into the gray areas. And now, your trio of hosts, Sebastian Zuniga, Reina Rivera, and Randy Felice.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Gray People Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. I'm back. I was out of town last week, so I couldn't do the show, unfortunately, but Sean, Reina, and Randy killed it. I hope everybody heard it because I really enjoyed it. I actually heard it on my drive back from Vegas to Salt Lake. It was actually pretty good.
Yeah, it was a good time.
A little more vocal than usual, but I'm sure ratings spiked. So today we want to talk about pet peeves. So, things that annoy you in somewhat, but I'm going to ask Sean to let us know what pet peeves are, because I guess we don't all... The official definition of pet peeve, and then let me say something after that. So, Sean, what is the official pet peeve definition?
So, apparently, a pet peeve is something that a particular person finds especially annoying.
So it has to be that,
I guess that's what it is.
Especially
so not just annoying, but especially annoying.
So something that, really annoys you. So... I guess it could be a lot of things, but one thing that comes off the top of my head that if you've known me for a while, I don't like the sound of clippers while it's clipping the nail. I don't like that sound. So if someone's like clipping their nails, and it's not the problem of, it's not like, oh, it's disgusting, somebody's clipping their nails. If they're biting it, that's fine. Yeah. It's literally the sound of that nail clipper just ding, ding, whatever it does. It just kind of like
triggers something.
Yeah, it just kind of like rubs me the wrong way.
That just reminds me of my feelings towards cardboard boxes. Somebody's like breaking the box apart or opening a package when they just recently got it. It makes me cringe.
So how do you do when you open your packages?
I don't know, man.
Because you get a lot of them.
Well, because I always, when there's
so
like the tape,
fear every day,
and you carefully open the box to the point where it doesn't like connect. But when someone's like breaking boxes apart and that's all they're doing, that really like drives me crazy.
That's interesting. Because Reina herself is keeping Amazon in business out here.
Amazon knows that everybody's staying in business.
No, FedEx and UPS and all those people.
And opening for me is just, abierto. I don't have to touch it, but when you're like consistently breaking boxes down, like moving boxes and stuff like that, then that's what it is.
God forbid throwing her in a warehouse. She'd lose her shit.
No, for me, you know what's interesting? I just realized, I was telling Reina this the other day. I realized I have a new pet peeve that I didn't know was a pet peeve until it happened the other day. So I was driving and I looked back through my rearview mirror, and the lady behind me had her rearview mirror like twisted almost like
to an angle,
like not in an angle, but almost like up and down rather than like sideways.
Vertical?
Yeah, but I was like, what do you see from there? You know what I mean? Like,
I've never seen that. That's great.
Yeah, at that point you have you're supposed to have about 5-6 inches of like a mirror to look back, and you have 2 inches now because you put it like vertical. And I was like, that really bothered me. And like the whole time this lady was behind me, I was like, yo, you motherfucker, you should fix that shit.
If that was me, I would have sounded on my fucking brakes and just see what happens.
Maybe it just was broken, and that's the only way she
No, I don't think it was broken because it was pretty well. It wasn't like all the way. It was just kind of like. You could tell it was just way tilted.
Halfway.
With my theory, we would have found out.
He's like, why did you run into me? My rearview mirror is broken. Oh, shit. Sorry.
Crazy bitch.
No, yeah, I just realized that's most of mine are actually from driving. Like, I realized, another one is, people getting off the freeway, very last minute. That really bothers me. Like, you probably get off that exit every single day of your life.
Last minute.
But you want to wait for that white triangle to come on so you can try to get in. It's different getting on the freeway. I understand, maybe you're waiting for your moment to jump onto the freeway, but...
You're saying so somebody should probably already be, in the exit lane or, the furthest right lane.
If that's your exit.
Right or left, yeah.
Don't try to cut, you know how it becomes, that white triangle of, right before you hit the wall?
The wall.
It's people... just cut through that, and I'm like, dude, okay, once in a while anybody can forget, and maybe it was just oh shit, that's my exit, but come on, that's probably your exit, every single day you probably do this because there's too many people doing it. I don't think there's that many people that forget on a daily basis. I don't know.
You never know. We're gonna have to do a study on
I
that.
have another pet peeve, guys.
What's up?
So, if I text you, don't call me. Like, if I text you, it's because I want you to text me back. I don't need a phone call. I don't want to hear your voice. I just want you to respond in a text message.
Real quick.
That gets me so annoyed because I'm like, I feel bad having to ignore the phone call, but I'm like, it's your fault. You shouldn't have called me if I'm texting you. Like, if I wanted to call you, yo te llamaba.
It's
Well-
some text message etiquette. Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah.
My bad.
Well, no, like I would say to that though, call me old school, but I like to actually communicate on the phone, like through a call. So when someone texts me and it's a conversation, I figure we could, figure this out quicker on a call.
Do you ever
Yes.
take it as like he texted me or she texted me? That means they're available. So let me call them.
Yeah.
It happens like that. But that's Raina's pet peeve, so that's interesting.
Like I hope hopefully she's not texting and driving.
No, but that's the thing. Is that's true.
I rarely drive, Sean.
If
That-
you're
that's
driving,
true. I'm
then
sorry,
you
I
should
forgot.
text. Well, what is it? If you're driving, then you should text. That sounds bad. If you're driving, you shouldn't text. Maybe you should.
I don't get
You
that.
have
That's kind of
Bluetooth,
funny. It's
you
not a
can
pet peeve, but now that we're talking about things annoying, it's funny. It's true. Like I've texted somebody and they're like, "Hey, I'm driving," so I'm like, "Let me call you." No, I'm driving, so just text me. What the hell are you talking about? Like, just pick up the phone. It'd be easier.
Yeah.
No, like I need to focus on the road. Yeah, with them thumbs, you ain't gonna do no better.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I know you, Reina. I'm
What are
sorry.
some of your pet
What
peeves?
about Sean? What do you get kind of annoyed by? What kind of bothers you, rubs you the wrong way? Besides battling height.
I mean, not to be too specific, but just stupid shit. Like
That's
just
not specific at all.
I know.
So what's some stupid shit you talking about?
like just when people do dumb shit around. I don't know when I guess common sense is a common practice, but what I think is common sense, like etiquette. When you hold the how about this one? When you hold the door and they don't say thank you, and I have to announce, hey, you're welcome, motherfucker. Like, shit. Like, I don't do
It's
this
like-
shit and getting paid for
I
it.
don't
you
work
know?
here. I'm not.
No, like, I'm not going to the mall. I'm holding the fucking door, and this motherfucker just walk right past. I'm like, you stupid son of a bitch. You want to say thank you? Like, come on. Like, fuck.
Maybe they're scared to say thank you with that attitude, Sean.
Is
Well,
there-
then the world really scares them then because I'm holding the fucking door for them.
is
I ain't
there-
putting a finger in their ass when they're walking by. Like,
Wow.
Is there any pet peeves that you maybe thought about that are like recent? Like
You
maybe
reel that back.
it like something that didn't bother you before, but lately you're like, yo, this is bothering me now. Do you guys have any of those?
And I, honestly, just the opposite. I've worked on one, which is crazy. So remember, Randy probably remembers, or Sean might remember.
Being late.
So no, that's never been a pet peeve of mine to be late.
Well, that's pet peeve of
What
mine. I just discovered that.
What I'm trying to say is, I used to have one where people used to sit in uncomfortable ways.
Oh, and it still bothers me though.
So it
sometimes.
bothers me, but now I don't have to like say nothing to anybody. Because before, basically, if I know you and you sit in a uncomfortable way, that I'm like, damn, I would not want to sit that ways. I would tell you if I know you, hey man, are you okay?
Straighten out, yeah.
Or like, hey, sit up, man. Like, why? Oh, no, I'm just saying, like, doesn't that bother you? And if it was somebody I didn't know, I just couldn't look at him. But now I'm just like, whatever. It's kind of worked out through
You
the
know
years.
what's funny?
Like, whatever's
And
about it.
now that I think about it, I don't know if it's because like all the time I spend hanging out with you, but now there's one thing for me. It's not a pet peeve, but I do want to see people be comfortable. So like if I see somebody, for example, we show up somewhere that's not supposed to be, business casual or anything like that, and you show up in like sweatpants and you just I'm like, cool, you're comfortable. That's cool. You know what I mean? And it just like
That's funny.
it
Yeah.
doesn't bother me, but it doesn't like. If you're not uncomfortable, it doesn't bother me, but I do like seeing people comfortable, and I don't know if it's because
I'll
of
tell
that.
you what. What's other pet peeves or annoying things? Bad breath.
Oh my god, I couldn't deal with that.
Especially like, let's say if you're
I think any body odor.
you get close to somebody, and I've had it sometimes because obviously I like to Latin dance, so you need to dance with somebody, and it's unfortunate it might be a female, and the breath is kicking. It don't matter if she's looking like a 10. That breath is looking like
Like
straight
a zero.
zero. So she's averaged out to a -2 at that point. Me, but
That's a horrible
and I'm not
math equation.
much to pick from, but I'm just saying that bad breath kills like Papa Mint.
No, it's pretty crazy because it's true. Like
My bad, do I have bad breath?
No. I wouldn't go and live in there either, but it's not bad.
I'd make it happy.
Oh man.
Yeah, but it smells.
What's something that someone maybe has told you that like, yo, that's my pet peeve, and you're like, you fucking weird. How does that bother you?
Well, it's true. That's a good question. Let's think, guys.
I would say going back to what Sebastian said, the nail clipping thing. Because I clip my nails, and he always like, can you please do that somewhere else? Why are you doing that around me? It could be at my own house, it could be at his house, it could be anywhere, and he's gonna try to stop me whatever I'm doing, and be like, hey, don't do that.
So you think it's weird that
he
has that?
To me that's weird because obviously I've clipped my own nails, the noise don't bother me. Raina obviously has a high tolerance, ripping open boxes, and she has a problem with that. But
well, because I think about this one, like I have another pet peeve that I don't know if it bothers people when I ask of people to maybe watch this, but at the supermarket, one of my biggest pet peeves is people leaving the carts in the parking lot. Just because, just in general, I'm like, I think it's very inconsiderate. But it really is like, it bothers me, and I will, like...
It grinds your gears.
Exactly. And I will, when I'm with people, if I'm driving and they're going to take the car back, I would actually be like, yo, do you mind taking it to the spot? Like, it just...
You said that to people?
Yeah, I'll tell, like, Raina, or like if I'm with
okay. You're talking about with people you're with, or random people in the parking lot.
Oh yeah, no, not random.
I was like random people in the parking lot. I was like, Randy's picking up a part time at nights, working at a supermarket, just putting carts away. He's like, I just want to put carts away. That's all I want to do.
Me as an example, just as a name, because I never leave the carts in the parking lot.
No, you're right. I'm saying like if I'm with somebody.
You're right. I'm lying on the show.
I'm saying
guys,
like
you heard it here first.
If I'm driving with someone and someone is with me, I will be like, yo, do you mind taking it to the spot? And I will tell them, and maybe they don't. Maybe they were going to do that anyway, but I feel like I've got to go out of my way to make sure it's done, because it bothers me. People that grab the car and just put it up on top of the curb, I'm like, that's not properly
or by a car or something like that, yeah.
Alright, guys, I have another one.
What is it, Raina?
And I don't know if you guys ever noticed Randy doing this, but Randy slurps everything. He slurps soup, which is understandable, pero se come un sándwich, he slurps it.
Everything. Yes. Randy, you're doing your thing.
No, but he's eating a McChicken from McDonald's. He's like, I'm like, dude, like,
this motherfucker's a dragon. He a lizard.
It's not liquid. Like, this is a piece
How do you
of chicken
slurp a chicken parmesan?
Yo, Raina, you're a very lucky woman. I'll tell you that.
You gotta take the bad with the good.
No, but like, it's funny because she sees it that way. But what I'm really doing, and I don't know why, but is as I'm eating it, I'm blowing it. So it's hot, and I go. It's not slurping. It's like I grab
cold cut sandwich. That shit's hot. No, I gotta make sure that shit's good.
No, if you notice, I don't do it with like, anything that's cold, like mashed potato, anything like that. I don't do it with ice cream. I don't do it with ice cream. I don't do it with, you know what I mean?
Yo,
but if I'm
we're gonna notice you now because I've seen you slurp a sandwich.
Like that.
I know when you bite a sandwich, you go like that. Like I've seen it, but I want to see if I can notice you slurp other stuff.
Yeah,
no homo.
That actually that does make sense because that spicy sandwich you get from McDonald's every time.
He's like
no mayos, only lettuce and shit. And I'm like, what is he doing? Or what is that bread soggy or what?
No, it's like it really is for me. I really just
you have to explain yourself.
Next time he's like, let me get a McChicken and a straw.
No, like I'm blowing as I'm eating it. I don't know, maybe
that's a talent. That's for next week's show, hidden talents. You know that. Blow and eat and blow.
Go to America's Got Talent.
Yeah. No, on the real though. That's
any other ones you guys can think on top of your head? Maybe pet peeves, knowing things.
I hate when people bring to work like the stinkiest food. I'm just like, be considerate. Like, if you're gonna eat stinky shit, go eat it somewhere else, like at the break room or something. But
do you think they know it's stinky?
I don't know, but
a lot of people might. Like generally, you don't bring like fish to like a closed area.
Exactly.
But I like it.
Like a bunch of onions. Like I don't want to be smelling onions.
Okay, when I eat a lot of onions. My stuff. I wouldn't think that's.
It has a strong smell.
But I'd be like, oh, that smells good.
No, I know.
What about curry or something? I can tell people.
Oh no, that reminds me. I was at a job, and this is very interesting. My cologne, and someone that I worked with pulled me basically off to the side and told me that they were going to send me an email concerning something that they needed to talk to me about. So I was like, first of all, I was like, why didn't we just talk about it right now?
Oh, that's weird.
So then I got the email, and the email was just basically, hey, I understand, you decided to come to work and
cologne.
and you want to, dress nice or be
Smell
clean
good.
and smell good, but I'm allergic to all types of cologne. It's not your
Well,
particular
that's
smell,
reasonable.
and I would just ask you if you could please not bring it and put it on anymore.
Ding.
And at first I was kind of like, yeah, whatever, man, I don't care. And then I kind of just digged in it, and I was just like,
Fuck you.
why are you trying to control me? When I was like,
Well, it's like
but I was considerate, so I didn't wear it anymore.
He's
But
like, I didn't wear it anymore because I quit.
but it was funny. Yeah, I was like, no cologne, I'm out.
well, and I think about is that
Like weird requests like that.
exactly like I get it, like you're
Yeah.
allergic, but then I almost feel like
She
at
should
that
be aware that that's the environment.
At that point,
like
Yeah.
that's not a pet
That's
peeve.
not a pet
We're
peeve.
just talking about things that
But-
like at
but
this
it
point
could be
now
annoying.
stuff like
It could be
instances
annoying
like
someone
that.
asking
But
you that.
it was annoying that they asked me that, but I understood. And at the same time, I'm like, we all got to work together as a team. So I was like, hey, might as well be a team player. Otherwise, this particular person was like, and if there's an issue, we can go speak to the manager and we can see what they believe is best.
I'm like, I can tell you, it's not telling me to not work alone.
I thought it was a decent smell, but hey,
I would have dumped the whole bottle of cologne on his ass to see if he was
Oh my
allergic.
God.
I'm like, you know what you need to do since you're allergic? You need to toss that shit on you.
Well,
that,
talking about
sit.
maybe things that are like pet peeves at work. Is there anything that like bosses do that you think is annoying? Like, a boss asking you to stay extra hours. Like,
It's
is that,
annoying
like-
how they get paid more.
should we get paid? Should be getting paid the same as everybody else? They get paid the same as every other boss, probably.
That's true.
Well, yeah. Okay, so pet peeves at work would be being punished as a team. Like, I feel like if my performance is good and somebody else is dragging us down, like, I just find it unfair sometimes to always be punished just because overall.
I'm
we're not
both
good.
on that. I understand there's individual performance, but a lot of these jobs when you come in, you kind of know that it's like a team.
Yeah.
So you gotta. But I'm
it's like
with you.
the same people every single month. I'm just like, a cierto punto, like, put them on blast, make them feel.
What are the themes right now?
I can't disclose that information, but
That's very interesting.
You never.
The only pet peeve I ever have about bosses is micromanagement. That
Yeah.
or leaders that don't lead by example. So they ask all these things of you, but they wouldn't do half of them.
yeah.
I used to have one boss that was really good, like super, super good dude, where no matter what he ever asked me to do, I would never even question it in my mind one time because I know he'd be the first one to go do it. So every time, like, and he's actually an assistant manager at this place where I worked at. And he was like, he'd ask you to do X, Y, Z. Like, even if it was something that had nothing to do with the job, he's like, hey, you think you can go out back and, like, grab a trash bag and put it up front? I would never even be like, no, because I would see him do 10 times more. So I was like, oh, definitely.
Mhm.
So you
That's
feel good
interesting.
about it. But, yeah, for me, pet peeves or things that bother me about bosses is leaders that don't lead by example. And then the micromanagement ones that, like, everything you do, they're just on
They
top
gotta
of you.
watch it and
Because
tell you.
either they're trying to take all the credit for it,
Oh,
or
yeah.
they're just like, no, yeah, the result was good, but the way that you did it was wrong. So, but I get it. They're there for certain reasons. But those are two things that bother me.
I have a pet peeve with bosses too when they try to like cross over and try to get into your personal life.
Oh, I was like, if you're trying to make what's it called, declaration right now, everything that's happening in society with an old boss or something like that. That's for another episode. But how about like all that stuff that's happening with, these actresses in Hollywood and all that. That
What, like the
like-
pay part, or what?
no,
what?
like women saying that they've been assaulted and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And then today just came out the Dallas Mavericks. You heard that?
What happened with the team?
That one of their old like upper people for the last 20 years, he's been being inappropriate, molesting women.
Yeah, he crossed over to the Under Armour side, and then the president of Under Armour figured it out, and now he's getting pretty
Well,
much
I just-
exposed.
It's just, for me, it's interesting because I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but shit, it takes 20 years of how many women for this shit to come to light. You know what I mean? It's just,
I'm like, let's
it's
go
kind
back
of
to pet
crazy
peeves.
to me. But
Well, sometimes you just turn a blind eye and move on.
20 years
Yeah,
worth.
Not saying it's right, but
I don't know.
You can close your eyes for about 2 decades. Wake up. Yeah.
No, I mean, there's a lot of stuff. I'm
peeves.
sure.
hey, he's still going to be a billionaire. So
I'm sure there's a lot of stuff going on, and it's sad. It really is.
Want to
But
go
it's
define
just,
who you are.
Pet peeves is that?
But-
Just kidding.
that is
That's a pet peeve.
That's my worst pet peeve. Being broke. I hate it.
So we're on the show trying to make some money. People, subscribe,
So make sure
please.
you subscribe.
So you
share.
can get Randy and Ray's pet peeves out of here.
Okay, so what is something that you do that would be a pet peeve, or you think is a pet peeve to someone else?
Oh, I could totally respond to that. I don't respond texts at a fast rate.
Never.
Calls I don't pick up to
No.
anybody at the right time. I call everybody pretty much back. For you to call me and me actually pick up, I would
That's
probably be it would probably be the minority of times. Like everybody,
Is
from
there a reason?
mom, dad, friends, all you guys to me or my family. I don't know. And a lot of times, I'll tell you the truth, I see the call.
Guys, you heard it here.
But I'm watching something. I don't know.
SVU.
No, yeah, I'm watching like SVU. I'm watching some basketball highlight. A lot of times, I get a call and I'm in the middle of a YouTube video, and it pisses me off.
You
So
know
I'm
what's
like,
funny is, I know
that's a pet peeve. That pisses me off.
I know you're typically on your phone. Like, I don't think I've ever seen you when you don't have your phone. So it's kind of interesting, you know? Like, of course, like, we call you.
Well, not for nothing, guys, but I've known about this for a long time, and I've already confronted Sebastian about this. I was like, I know you see my call. I know you. And he's just like, sorry, man. It's just what I do.
No, but I mean, it's not
So at
like,
least he's honest about it. At least he knows.
I know
At least
people
he
got to
knows.
be annoyed about that because even like a job calling me, anything, like they'll leave a voicemail and I call back. Like, even if
But
I know,
I'm
I just...
sure if you get
Like,
like,
I didn't know
after
that
hours
to that
text
extreme.
messages.
If the hospital's calling back for something from my mom, I'm
Oh,
calling back. I
shit.
don't care. I'm not picking up the first time for some
But
reason.
Sebastian, I'm sure if you get those after hours text messages, you'll be responding.
Oh,
A la
yeah.
mia.
If it's 11 and beyond and it's a female,
he's,
hey,
he's like, I'm not watching
So
videos
that's the
then.
exception to the rule.
that is the exception. I don't have much to choose from.
Or you're warming up to a video. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Well, I think for me, one thing that I do
That
and
people
just-
might find
that
annoying.
people
Just
might
one,
find
Randy. We
annoying,
could be here all day for the next
a
one.
million, I guess. But one thing that I do is when I take off my shoes and I take off my
Oh,
socks,
Lord.
I've got to
Jesus.
smell my socks.
Why?
I just feel like I've got to
Double
get
check.
like understand, like double check, or I don't know, like, you know, my feet stink or whatever. I got to know how
They
bad
do.
it is.
You don't need to smell your socks to know
I
that.
don't-
Okay,
for me, it's
okay.
got a lot better for the years.
Yeah, it has.
It's
No,
true.
I'm
He
just-
does that every single time.
It's just for me. It's like I feel like I gotta know where we stand. It's like when people check their armpits and they smell each. Like, you know, for me, it's like
It's
I
smell
take
fee.
off my shoes and I smell my
It's called a
socks,
smell fee.
and it's smell fee.
All right, Randy, what about yours?
What about yours?
Me?
Something that you do you think people are, pet peeved, annoyed about, something that you do.
Oh, I'm sure I annoy a lot of people, but I feel like it's my inability to make a decision. I'm just very indecisive, so I'm always like back and forth, like, okay,
That's
we can
all
go to a
women.
movie, and then
Yeah.
last minute I'm like, no, I don't want to go. So
That is annoying.
That was Raina, I need you to dig deeper, because that's just a general one.
but I do that a
No,
lot.
I need something deeper.
I'm always canceling. I'm always like hoping somebody cancels before me, so I don't have to cancel.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Well,
What
I
about
think that's
your
like all
bathroom
women.
breaks? That's annoying.
What
do you
about
think?
you? What about you, Sean? Something that you do that you think people might find annoying. If you need any help, let me know.
Well, I guess one thing that pops to my head is I tend to be a nice person, but I come with a lot of insults. So some people get mad at that. I know one particular does. So I would.
I'm a nice person, but I come with insults. How nice are you?
Yeah, well, like, you know.
Here you go. Here's a coffee, you motherfucker.
So people that have, you know, come to my house and know me, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm very catering. You know, I do all that nice shit.
It's great.
But
Great
then,
host.
But then all of a sudden, you know, it's just who I am. You know, I'll just start talking shit or whatever. I'm like,
It's
oh,
like-
fuck off, whatever.
I thought of you. I bought you this ice cream, you bitch. Like,
Well,
You fat
you
fuck.
little piece of shit.
Don't get me wrong. I would be lying if I said that never came out of my mouth.
Yeah.
You know, like.
But do you
I-
feel like you're like that to the people you care about the most, or just anybody, like a random stranger? You'd be
I don't
like,
think he cares. What
I
it
think
is.
the more he care about you, the more he says some shit to you.
right? I
Like,
feel
it's kind of
that
like
too.
that's his way of
Yeah.
being, like, kind of busting your balls. Like, they say
Yeah.
busting your shop, like, fun ways.
Yeah, but apparently I bust a lot of balls or something, and some people get
Wow.
sensitive.
Dang.
And they
Can you
just,
keep
you know.
your private life
Yeah.
private?
Yo, that's for another episode, man. Apparently, I bust a lot of balls.
Busting balls. Sean busting balls.
I'll tell you what, whoever's balls you busting, that's a pet peeve for them.
All right.
All right, let's
Wait,
finish
did we
that
already
subject.
said one?
Yeah, Raina. You're the one that went light on us. I'm just
Well, I don't know.
indecisive.
I mean, I guess I repeat myself a lot. Like to Randy, I'm like, do this, and then 5 seconds later, I'm like, do this.
Well, that's just more impatient.
That's
than
just
anything
the
else.
definition of a wife. But
that is.
That sounds
Impatient.
amazing. Can't wait to be married.
Yeah, like shit. That's something
No,
like I want.
So for the next segment, now we're gonna do just we like to either do rapid questions here, or we like just ask a couple, 3, maybe 2, 3, 4 questions, some to get us thinking. But we love Sean answers because he just answers honestly. So we just love how he just spits out an answer. So question number 1, very interesting. Sean, when you were, I would say little boy, but you're not that big now. When you were a younger man, a younger boy, what did you want to be when you grow up? Like when you grew up, when you envisioned yourself maybe from 5, 6 to like 10, 11, 12, I don't think I've ever really asked you that.
5, 6 or like 6 feet.
No, I'm sure he envisioned himself to be a tall man. But what I'm trying to say is, what was your desire when you were younger? I don't think I've really asked you that. So what did you want to do when you were a kid?
Yeah. So when I was a kid, to be honest, I wanted to be an underwear model. I used to go into the bathroom.
I know you told me you wanted to be an underwear model. I didn't know that was like
a
thing in your heart that you really wanted to.
Yeah, no, like when I was 5, 6 years old, I remember going into the, my mother had me wearing like, those Batman underwears and Superman underwears. And I'd be, I was a chubby little kid, kind of, I'm chubby now, but I'm a chubby little kid. And I was like, just posing for mom, like, Ma, do you think this is good? Because I think I could really make it, on the cover of a magazine or something. And my mom was like, you ain't doing it. Because she was just always realistic with me. She's like, not going to be that tall. Models are not
Sounds
short.
like she was always really encouraging.
So, I blame her that I didn't become I'm just kidding.
An underwear. So you want to be an underwear model?
Yeah, I want to be an underwear model. That's what I want to be.
Him at 5, 6. That's very different.
Yeah. Well, I used to like slide down silk sheets and everything, try to get a sensation going when I was 5, 6.
Whoa.
Wow.
All right, so would you eat Tide Pods?
Nah, man. Come on. That's some white people shit. I don't fucking know.
That's some crazy shit. Brandon, you got a question for Sean? A good question? Something good is thinking?
All right, I have another question for Sean.
Go ahead, Randy.
If you went to prison, what would it be for? Like, what's going to get you in jail one day?
Shit. It would be maybe mouthing off to the wrong person and something happened.
Like saying
I'll say some shit to
one underwear model. He's like, fuck you, I could be better
I got
than you.
one.
Well, I opened the door for him and he didn't say, thank you. So I was like, fuck you, motherfucker. Something
what about you, Raina?
Right. Sean, what would you protest?
It's kind of a broad question, but I like it.
Inequality.
Okay.
What type of inequality?
All types. All
Human
genders,
rights.
all races, everything.
Everybody got to be the same.
Everyone should be treated the same.
Even, what's her face? Monique?
Like, well, she was treated the same. She wasn't relevant, and that's why she got the pay that she was offered. Like, it is what it is. I dislike every single race or person, gender, whatever, equally.
That's good.
Equally like Wakanda.
Yeah.
Wakanda forever.
Thank you, Mr. White Man, for bringing me here.
Yay, the white man.
All right, that's good. Today, those are just a few little questions.
What other questions do we have for Sean? Okay, I got one more. All right. What do you think? Kind of like on the same line of like prison. I'm gonna put you in jail.
Shit.
Like, if you were in prison for the wrong thing, like how do you think you would handle yourself? I guess so you can kind of see where I'm coming with the question. You see people that are like just the whole time they're trying to prove their innocence.
Yeah.
Or like what?
So are you asking like how would I conduct myself in prison?
Like what would you do? Like how? Like what is Sean when he's in prison for the wrong thing? Like, what is he doing?
I've never been, but I'll give you my best answer. I think I would just who I am. I would be frustrated, like pretty much the whole time. Because if there's one thing, if I know I'm right about something, I'm not gonna just let up and just give up, right? So I'm gonna be screaming at the world. I'll be like, "What the fuck, God? Like, what the fuck did I do? Really?
Now,
these motherfuckers got it fucked up. I need it. We need to fix this quick.
What if you're in prison for the wrong thing and then trying to defend yourself? Because I know how you are. You ain't gonna take shit from nobody. Now you do some shit. You stab somebody.
Well, now you're really in there.
Now you're really in there. Like how?
I guess he's staying in.
Well, on that note, I would look back because I am real with myself, and I'll be like, well, I had a way of getting out. It just might have taken a certain amount of time. But now for this action, now I'm in here. For real. And there's no getting out.
He's like, I gotta make the most.
It's tough because in a way, like, you're in a situation that, you were dealt that hand and you just gotta do some things to
because everybody here at this table has been dealt some cards that it's either we haven't played it well or just we were dealt just bad
We've
cards.
all been dealt that draw for.
Yeah, so so I can only imagine the people that have actually went and did a stretch or whatnot, and they really didn't do the thing. So me, I would personally be frustrated as hell.
Yes.
And then if I did something in prison or something was done to me and I had to stay longer or whatever, that would just suck even more. But I would cope with that better because I at least knew I did something to deserve this sort of punishment.
All right, last question. Would you rather be without toothpaste and never brush your teeth, or without deodorant and just be with that BO all the time?
So that's an easy one for me. It'd be without toothpaste and never brush my teeth because I could always eat. My BO is not that bad, to be honest. I shower. I could be good for like a whole day without any deodorant, to be honest.
Wait, so you... That may make sense. Then would you...
Yeah, so, because basically he said he'd be without toothpaste, but he's like, but I don't need deodorant.
Oh, my
so
bad.
I'm a stinky motherfucker all day.
My bad. I meant I could deal without deodorant.
Oh, okay. So you can brush your teeth.
He straight up said, I really don't need toothpaste, but I really, really don't need deodorant either. So, gotcha. Fuck it. I'll walk around, not give a fuck.
Questions on you.
Question is, can you handle it?
Should I re-answer that?
No, that was good. That was funny.
For the next segment, we're going to do then the 3, 2, 1. That's where each of us does something or talks about something that was impactful for us through the week. We're going to have Sean as well give one. So think about something that was
So go ahead, Sean, Rain, and Randy. You three today.
So who wants to start?
I say, ladies first. Go ahead, Raina.
Oh, well, I feel like we might all be thinking the same one, but we can all elaborate on it. I just thought Black Panther was an amazing movie, so I was really happy to see it. And I don't know, it was just really inspiring.
Marvel don't pay us $1 for this.
This is not sponsored.
You mean Disney?
But Randy, right? You thought it was pretty good?
Yeah, but
I thought it was really good.
That was
I think,
amazing.
It's interesting because I don't think people. It was like, oh my god, like this is the movie of all ages. Like some people made it to be. I do think it was a really well done movie from beginning to end. It was really well produced, really well written. But at the same time, I'm like...
And I must say, Lupita is beautiful. Like...
She alright. She's not like...
What? No, she's gorgeous.
Randy, this show, we just show love.
Show love. Oh, she's gorgeous. Alright. So one thing for me that was kind of impactful this week, not to get into like the politics side of things, but David Letterman has a new show on Netflix where he's sitting down one-on-one interviewing people, and the first person he interviews on the show is Barack Obama. Now, he said something that for me was impactful, just not even so much about politics or who's doing what, that should be doing X and Y, but he talks about we create our own bias. And I think it's interesting, like he was making a point about Google. Google is based on your type of searches, and everything is tailored to you. And nowadays, that's how the internet is, right? Anything that you think about almost pops up as a commercial for you. It's just so crazy. So he talks about that we should kind of be more open-minded and look at the other side of people's arguments in a way. Because, for example, right now we have this whole thing with politics. Everybody seems to know what's right for the country and all of these things. But we're not willing to listen to the other person's side. We know what's right, and that's it. So he talks about, for example, the way that things are today. We could all Google, let's say we Google Egypt. If I travel a lot, what's going to come up with my top searches is, places to vacation, the best spots in Egypt. You know what I mean? Where if someone's all about, everybody's a terrorist, they look up Egypt and they're going to see Egyptians killing each other. And that's like their reality. And someone that's all about peace and whatever is going to find like Egypt, the most peaceful country in the world. And it's just interesting to think that everything we see online is shaping the way that we are. And we are not willing to listen to, and we're not willing to listen to other people's point of view just because I don't think we realize what we're doing with our bias. I don't think we realize how biased we are on everything we do in life. Everything we post on Facebook, everything our friends post on Facebook is kind of similar to the things that we like. So that's the only world we know. And I don't know, it was just pretty impactful to see, like, be open-minded people.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Go ahead, Sean. What impacted you this week?
How can you follow that, Sean?
Yeah, I mean, that was very motivational.
Not a competition.
And I really like that. I second it.
Cool.
Just kidding.
I
No, so
was the most impactful thing of Sean's week.
So are you gonna piggyback?
no,
If that impacted your week,
no. So what impacted my week was All-Star Weekend. It was a great weekend.
Great show of talent
for NBA players. I mean, you had rookies winning awards. You had people in small market teams winning awards, and
shout out to Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah,
man.
Donovan Mitchell, and
Jazz, he's doing his
and
thing,
to be honest, LeBron James, man, 15 years in, still doing things that guys in their early years couldn't even try to do. So that was very impactful. Just seeing the guy just really chase it, go get it, and
pretty good entertainment. I had a lot of good laughs. Fergie's shit was pretty funny.
That shit. Is that the most impactful thing for you this week? Fergie's national anthem.
Impactful. No,
We should give her credit though.
I thought it was pretty interesting. No, at the end of the day, I saw somebody tweeted something. Forgot who it was, but they said something where it takes like a lot of courage.
That was Wiz Khalifa.
Wiz Khalifa, right? It was
To
a lot
do
of courage
a different rendition.
to do a different rendition. Nah, at the end of the day, she tried to do the best she could.
And she admitted to it.
I felt bad that she actually even had to apologize for her own rendition. It's like that's how bad it was that she actually had to tell everybody.
I don't believe a person should apologize for trying something new. And she wasn't trying to offend nobody.
Because I think she did it with sincere intent. Like,
Yeah.
And that's
she's like,
what
let me
everybody's
try to do
done.
something enjoyable, something different that's going to spark
She
things
didn't edit
up.
the lyrics or anything.
Exactly.
She just edited the melody. So it's like, that was just
And
her
that
style.
happens.
Don't get me wrong, I didn't like it, but she tried something new. It didn't work out worldwide, apparently. And she moved
But that's what
on.
everybody does. I mean, I don't think I've listened to two
She
national
took a risk.
anthems on a sporting event that sound exactly the same. I think everybody tries to hit it the way they hit their notes, and it's like you said, it's
It
pretty
just didn't work
unfortunate.
out for her, that's all.
Yeah, well, live and you learn, right?
It is what it is. All right.
All right, guys. So for our last segment, we have the People's Note. If you're new, that's pretty much our version of the quote of the day. And for today, it is, keep choosing happiness daily, and happiness will keep choosing you back.
Very true.
I wish that was true.
I'm gonna choose money daily, and hopefully money keeps choosing me.
Hmm.
No, but alright, that's a good one though.
I like that one a lot.
All right, y'all. Well, thanks for joining us for episode 8 of the Great People Podcast. Again, make sure you subscribe if you haven't. Thanks for all the feedback. Thanks for everything you guys do for the show. Make sure you share it with your friends. Follow us on social media. Follow us on Instagram at Great People Podcast if you don't follow us yet. On Twitter, Great PPL Podcast or Great People Podcast. We're also on Twitter.
And let us know what your pet peeves are. Go ahead and leave us a comment as well.
We're gonna get
interested in reading
we're gonna get other people to special guests. I'm getting a lot of people that are asking me that they want to be on the show.
Yeah, so we're gonna
talk
bring
about
in a
other
few
things.
more guests.
We're gonna figure this out how we can do this, but we'll get it done.
Yeah.
Um,
So we'll do a lot of that. We'll bring in people to talk about things that they're passionate about. But again, make sure you leave us in the comments things that you like, things you don't like. Questions for Sean for next time we do Sean Answers. Let us know what your pet peeves are. We want to hear those. Maybe, who knows?
shout out to Jaime. He actually was listening to a couple episodes like back to back,
Yeah,
and he likes the show. I want to get him up here, ask him a couple questions.
for real. So shout out again for everybody that supports us. Shout out to Jose. Thanks for always listening to it. Give us some feedback on the podcast and things that we can do better or things that we should try out. So we really appreciate the feedback from
and
everybody.
shout out to my brother. Apparently he also listens, so thank you.
Yeah. So anyways, thanks for listening to the Great People Podcast. Tune in next week for episode 9. Again, follow us on social media. Subscribe if you haven't. And put on the notifications so you guys can get when the new episodes come out.
Cut.